Okay, so very warm welcome again to Procurement Supply Chain Club virtual meet, greet, and learn. I was thinking of coming up with a better title, but I'm limited by my linguistic abilities and my creativity. So I just thought what you're doing here is basically meeting, greeting, and learning from each other. So I just put that in the title of this meeting. So hopefully you can excuse my lack of more creativity. Having said that, any group is like the true value of the group, or people coming together comes when we really know who are the other participants in the group, right? Sometimes we might be sitting at a gold mine of experience within the community, within the family, but we will not fully realize that. And once we have that opportunity to know each other from a closer distance, many other avenues open up. So our procurement supply chain community by AugMentors that has grown from 20, 30 people around this time last year to 230 odd people, which is a pretty sizable number. I would venture to say that one in terms of the informal sector, I think this is one of the prominent ones in GT at least. That's my guess about this one, right? So we are hence sitting at a lot of experience and a lot of great knowledge within the group. And that was the idea of sharing with each other and talking about each other, right? So without any further ado, the first section of this meet is about learning about each other, right? So I'd like to kick that off, um, and for that, and following that, we'll have the speakers that we have. One is Mr. Ankur Thakur. Some of you may know him, and I'll explain about him closer to that part of the session. And then, as I mentioned, Chris Rouse is another I would say big name from the Canadian supply chain industry, and he's associated with us as a mentor. So when he is with us around 10:15 or so, we'll introduce him as well in more detail. So first section, as I mentioned, is about knowing each other. So I would invite from our registrants list first. And the first name that we have here on my screen is Tejas Patel. Tejas, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect. And one reminder or request would be that if you're able to come on camera, I would appreciate that. But if you're driving or if you have any other particular concerns, don't want to switch on the camera, I understand that. So Tejas, we'll start with you. And just to keep the format consistent, I would request you to begin with providing a brief professional summary of your journey so far, and supply chain. What are any particular areas that you are interested in? Plus, also from a community angle, what one thing you'd like to take or obtain from this group? It can be any activity, it can be any sort of training, discussion, whatever thing. And what are the two things that you think you'll be able to bring to the group? We need givers, of course, in any community. So that was the format. Tejas, I'm putting you on the spot. You're the first one. I think you registered first, and that's how you are actually first on the speakers panel as well. So Tejas, you're up.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Sandeep. So good evening, everyone. I'm Tejas Patel, and I bring over 12 years of experience in supply chain and SAP ERP. I have had an opportunity to work with multinational companies in Canada and US in supply chain industries such as like a telecommunication, manufacturing unit, utilities, and 3PL. So I am super user or a technical person with SAP background. That's my core strength. Sandeep, I would like to put on a priority what I can offer to this group, if you don't mind. So what I can offer to this group is I believe like there are many group members who are recently migrated or who are freshly graduated in a supply chain in this group. So as a immigrant myself to this beautiful country, I can offer practical do's and don'ts tips from my own experience, and offer like a coaching for entry-level job seekers, and offer like a resume review as well if you are willing to start up from there. Please feel free to reach out. What one thing I would like to get from this group is, even as they say, like a coach need a coach. So even I know the basic things for job searching strategies and a lot of things about supply chain, but I'm always willing to take an opportunity to learn from the experts around. So I consider myself as a continuous learner, and I would like to learn and advance my supply chain career with the help of some senior mentors around. So that's what my goal is, to being part of this group and this call this evening. So,
Perfect. Yes, thanks so
thanks.
much. That's really beautiful. You and I have had the opportunity to meet earlier, and I know your potential. You are one of the very sharp minds in the area that you're working in. So coming from your side, if you're offering people a chance to help them with job-related matters, that's really big, and that's one area where I think large number of people do require some help. There is like a segment of team members who are recent graduates who are very recent entrants into supply chain sector. So I'm sure like there will be many who will be benefiting from your offer. So Tejas, I'll put you down for that, and at the same time, definitely like the team has a lot of experienced and senior people as well. So I'm sure you'll find good coaches and support in this group. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you, Tejas. By the way, Tejas, I was not able to see on the camera. I'm not sure like that was like you are aware or not, but like you're not visible on the camera. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm using multi-screen, so I left
Yeah, I
it
was
down. Yes.
suspecting that. Anyways,
Yeah. Let me turn off my camera.
yeah, maybe yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
So,
Perfect. Good to see you, Tejas, on the camera. Thank you, Tejas.
thanks.
Okay. When we have Sakshi. Sakshi, can you hear us? Sakshi, I can see your smile, but I can't hear your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, very much.
Great. Hi, everyone. This is Sakshi. And first of all, I want to thank you, Sandeep, for always giving us this platform to come together and have a hearty chats with other supply chain professionals. So this is a great opportunity. So thank you for doing that. A bit about myself. I have been into supply chain by chance, but I've stayed in this industry for almost 13 years now. I After my MBA, I started as an IT consultant. So I was consulting global enterprises on how to implement demand planning tools. So I have been an Oracle implementation consultant for almost 7 to 8 years of my life. I worked in different geographies. I have worked in UK, US, and then Canada. After that, I wanted to get onto the business side of things because I felt like that's where the strategies are made, and that's where you can make an impact on the end consumers. So I wanted to see that side of business. So I joined the supply chain team at Home Depot. Where they were setting up their fulfillment team, and they wanted to grow their e-commerce business. So I work at Home Depot. I built their distributed order management logic, and then I was also responsible for introducing, of course, with a group of people. On how to do express delivery for Home Depot. So we partnered with DoorDash, and we could launch delivery within 3 hours for just $9.99. After that, I moved to Walmart, and from Walmart, I am finally at Pet Value, where I'm working as a senior manager on e-com fulfillment side. And I love e-commerce. I love fulfillment. So I see myself in this space for some more time. So, why I want to be part of this community is because I wanted to meet more like-minded people, more the people who have experience in different areas of supply chain. As I said, I have more experience on demand planning, fulfillment, logistics, but I would love to learn about other areas like imports, exports, procurement, inventory planning, optimization. So that's one of the reasons why I want to be here, so that I can learn from other leaders in this space. And what I could contribute is I have been, I'm a mother to two kids, a young mother, new mother, and I understand how hard it could be to join a workforce back after your maternity leave. It's not easy, and as a woman also, it's not easy to navigate organizations. So I feel like I have some good experience in that area, and I would love to support other women in supply chain to navigate their career and help them grow in the leadership roles.
Wow, wow. Actually, you're full of energy, and at the same time, there's absolute clarity in your thoughts. You mentioned that you came into supply chain by accident.
Accident, because I did my engineering in biotechnology. I was
Okay.
supposed to join a PhD program. My engineering project was into cancer research. I was doing research on esophageal cancer, and then I did MBA, and I was supposed to, join a biotech company and become a leader there. And then I ended up at a IT company and became a technology consultant. So it was all it was all chance, but I think it was a good chance. I really
Yeah. Yeah.
enjoy my journey. Yeah.
So two comments. One that you are in good company because a lot of people who are in procurement supply chain, especially in the past, I guess like in the past, they came into that area by chance. So like this did not used to be like a full-fledged career option or like of choice way back. Now it has become a little bit more mainstream in academics. So you are in good company there. And secondly, like with your talent, you do very well in any sector that you would be. And in supply chain, like we are happy to have a professional like you. I think you have very thorough experience on many areas, and you still have the appetite and let's say rather hunger actually for knowing more and more on this area. So amazing to have you on the platform. Thank you, actually.
Thank you, Sandeep. And nice meeting everyone. And I'm looking forward to hear from all of you today.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We have Jess. I don't see Jess. No. Okay. Anirudh is not here, I guess. Hi. The next. You're on mute.
I went on mute as not to interrupt people and then forgot to take it off. I apologize for that.
Yeah, hit end.
Yeah, so I first was just saying thank you, Sandeep. I enjoy that you organize these things, and to know that the group is now over 200 people, that's awesome. Well done. So folks, my background is rather diverse. I'm a leader who's focused on continuous improvement for process, people, systems. I've got about 25 years, I don't want to admit any more than that, of experience in purchasing supply chain. I'm currently consulting for a food organization out of California. Phase 1 was identifying risks and gaps in their process, policy, procedures. And phase 2, we just started, and that's hitting some of that low-hanging fruit, as well as teaching some of their more junior folks about the principles of procurement and helping them to grow in their careers. So I mentioned my background is diverse. I've worked in food manufacturing, retail, pharmaceuticals, banking, waste management. I don't even remember. There's been a number of them. I've worked in Fortune 500 organizations, I'm actually, this project I'm working on right now out of California is a small business unit in a very large food organization, but the unit I'm in is probably one of the smaller places I've ever worked. So it's kind of fun and interesting because their low-hanging fruit is really quite fun to touch. I'm someone who keeps an open mind to alternative ways, which is how I can successfully identify risks and gaps and look at the continuous improvement. It's also the reason I've worked in multiple industries at multiple organizations, is to gain the knowledge of how other companies do things so that I have alternative ways in my mind when I come across an issue or an opportunity in the organization I'm working in. I mostly enjoy the manufacturing arena. I've worked, like I said, I've worked in others, but I always seem to come back to manufacturing or food manufacturing. I have a passion, and I've always had a passion for helping others to learn and grow, which for me creates lasting relationships. And if you look at that from a personal perspective, that's awesome. But from a business perspective, it also helps the organization. Creating those lasting relationships in a business situation is something that I would encourage everybody to do. And I think from the meeting I was in previously, that's what most of you are doing anyways. So that's fantastic. I don't believe in silos. I hope nobody on the phone does. We get stuck in them from time to time, but we definitely have to partner and have those relationships to solve problems within an organization, but also to learn and grow as a person. I mentioned supply chain procurement. I've worked in logistics, purchasing, procurement, systems implementation, systems optimization, Six Sigma. Yeah, I get bored easy, so I like to keep busy. The things that I'd like to give to the group, if you are in an area right now where you need some help identifying risks or gaps in your process, policy, or procedure, by all means, feel free to reach out to me, and I will help you to try and figure out where they might be. I will also help you get started in developing process and procedures if you need to develop them net new and just don't know how to begin. Or you just want to get in and maybe they don't look great in your organization and you're looking for some better template or what might be. I'll see what I can do to help there. What am I looking to get from the group? Well, creating lasting relationships and learning and growing. So that's really my entire life. It's who I am, it's how I operate. And I look forward to getting to know all of you.
Thanks, Oli. That's really beautiful. Like you have a very a beautiful heart. You're offering in a very open manner. With a lot of value. Like when you're talking about the process, procedures, policies, these are universally applicable issues. And like I've seen many organizations, many departments, many functions. Sometimes getting stuck with those things, and they're not able to figure out what should the starting point, what should be the template, what should be the roadmap to review all of those things. So that's a great area of help that you're offering. And I must commend you on the width of your experience. I think in terms of the sectors, I think I can't think of any other sector which exists in Canada. You covered pretty much all of those. And in terms of the functional expertise within the overall umbrella of procurement supply chain, you covered the entire range. So that's I'm envious of you. You really have a wealth of knowledge, and you're willing to share that. So that's really appreciated. Thank you, Holly. Okay, so Murli Mohan Bhushan. Can you hear us, Murli? And you are on mute, actually.
Yeah, now.
Yes. Very nice.
Yeah. Hi, good evening, all. It's a very golden opportunity to be on this platform. And my acknowledgement is for Sandeep, as usual. Yeah. I'll keep my introduction very brief in order to listen to more of the people here. I have a decade of experience into logistics. That's a core Canadian experience here. Before that, in India, I was into advertising and corporate communication. Mostly, yeah, my focus has been like I have a very diverse experience into um, SME sector, more of entrepreneurship here into medical field, managing different subject matter experts in their public relations and how to develop their corporate branding, etc. And we have successfully launched many brands in India, especially banking sector, automobile, soft launches, hard launches. A very diverse experience, right from retail, manufacturing, then also into the direct marketing. We also launched successful brands in India, starting from South India. You name it, Hamway, Cutting Edge, and also other brands. Then my career in Canada started into logistics. As Sakshi was saying, accidental. Me too. Ended up in logistics very accidentally because after coming here for 1 year, I was because I started on a clean slate. I don't want to continue into more corporate communication or public relations, which was more of a hectic thing. Then, so I wanted to diversify into business analytics or software. Then for 1 year, I couldn't get much calls. Then I bumped into logistics accidentally. So since then, I'm continuing there. Right now, I'm working as a shipping coordinator in Kingspan Insulated Panels in Calden. That's a big manufacturing plant and a big conglomerate. We are headquartered in global headquarters is in Ireland, and we have North American presence quite a bit. And you can say you would be the leaders in building envelope systems. So right now, so in Kingspan, almost close to 5 years now, it has been a very good experience because we have implemented like it was generally SAP. Now we have gone to SAP HANA onto cloud-based. So we have been like as we are working in shipping and receiving, we have been acting like a internal quality assurance team for the implementation of all these new systems. So it has been a quite a roller coaster experience for us, and successfully the implementation has gone, and now we are in the process of standardization of all the procedures and everything. And coming back to giving to the society, right from the next day onwards, stepping into Canada, I've been volunteering. Till date, I also welcome all other newcomers. I help them in making their resumes, approach how to go for the job market and everything. Also, peer-to-peer communication is very important. Sometimes I prefer more into case study approach. It's always good to, it gives you an overall analysis for you to take a decision. So I'm open to that. And I always encourage that case study approach. And yeah, so I'm a very tiny drop in this mighty ocean of supply chain. So still there are many things to learn. And my future, because I've enrolled myself into, because I like teaching, coaching. So I've been also a part-time, like a guest lecturer kind when I was in India, teaching right from graduates to MBAs or everybody. So that's what my passion is about. So that's why I've enrolled myself into a PhD program from Swiss School of Business Management, more focused on entrepreneurship. Because
घरे
so and also I always wanted to explore, like in the organizations, there are many people who are entrepreneurs, not entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs. They want to really contribute a lot to the organization, but they are not taken like properly taken care of. Maybe the management want to ignore them, or I don't know, but
Yep.
yeah. So this would be another focus area for me to really make the managements understand about this concept,
Mhm.
wherein it really results into the loyalty at both ends.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Great, great ideas, and you made a transition from complete different sectors to supply chain, and you have a lot of passion in this area in terms of knowing as well as imparting your knowledge. So that is really helpful for the entire community here. Thank you again for that. Okay, so we'll keep moving. Next, Dhanush, can you introduce yourself? You're not on camera, so if you're able to come on camera, please, Dhanush. Dhanush. Okay, we'll come back to you, I guess. Before that, we can go to Harshal. Harshal?
Yep.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. So myself, Harshal Neil. So my journey in supply chain started as a student. I'm an immigrant here, so I completed my postgraduate diploma in supply chain management recently, to be more precise, last year in August. And I feel lucky enough to get into the supply chain sector very quickly that I started my first job as a supply chain analyst in one of the leading global innovator in HVAC system, which is Train Technologies. So I'm currently working as a supply chain analyst, and I contribute to operational excellence and demand and supply planning team, uh, and help them reach their goals. So one thing that I can give to this group is that I can see a lot of students joining this group, and I can help them how to get into the industry, how to get to the first job, which I feel is very difficult. And the one thing that I seek from this group is mentorship and to learn from the experts here. Since I'm a fresher, I just started my journey here, so I want to learn from you all. Your expertise is what I actually seek. Thank you.
Perfect, Harshal. So you're a new entrant, let's say, on supply chain. You're one of the young guys here, which is so age is on your side. You have a lot of what you call the runway to
Yeah.
soar to new heights. So that's great. And I just want to say one thing, Silik, as you mentioned, you on one hand you are willing to help people who are probably newer than you, who are just completing their studies and stuff. And on the other hand, you have this open mind about learning from more senior experienced folks. I think that's how it should be. Like the more you are
Yeah.
teaching and training and coaching someone else, the better you become at that. So I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that goes hand in hand,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my belief as well. Anyway,
Thank you.
Harshal, great thoughts. Welcome,
Thank
welcome.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Sahib Singh is here. No, I don't see you here, Sahib Singh. What about Ravi?
Yeah.
Hey, Ravi.
Hi Sandeep sir, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Sandeep to include me in this supply chain community and giving me enough enough exposure to the Canadian supply chain experts over here. And talking about my professional background, I have a 3 years of procurement experience with electric utility company, where I was looking for a capital engineering and project procurement things for almost 3.5 years over there. And I moved here last year in January 2023 with a postgraduate course in supply chain management, and I've completed the same in the end of last year. And talking about what I want from this community is, as some of our other members of this group have already said, that the mentorship and the guidance to grow my professional career in supply chain over here in Canada. That's the basic thing. And yeah, I'm also looking for potential opportunities or entry level jobs over here in supply chain procurement in Canada. That's the basic thing. Learning from you guys. You, as you have already have a vast experience. I've heard that 10 years, 12 years you are working over here in Canada. So that's what I need to learn from you. And as I don't have a lot to offer to this community, because most of the people are more advanced in their career than me. So what I can offer to this community is that I would happy to be a volunteer. I would be happy to have some volunteering opportunities to grow this supply chain community, which helps the people like me over here and the experts who want to share their experiences and help this kind of community. And that's all from my side. And
Okay. Ravi, great to have your presence here as well, and we definitely require more and more people to come forward and provide their help in creating these events. I think there's a lot of potential, and I can tell you that we are underutilizing the potential of what this community has to offer. And I can tell you that I'm constrained, with my own time and stuff as
yes,
well. But
yes.
so I'd really love to have more volunteers, including yourself, Ravi, and
Yes.
with your time, your creativity, and with your effort. I think we can bring this to a different level altogether. So
Yes.
welcome, and I'll definitely count you.
Yeah,
In
thank
that,
you. Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you, Ravi. Great. Um, Next one is Ankur, but Ankur will come to you at the after this conversation, Ankur. Like I will introduce you. So we'll come to that. Manoj is not here. Jyoti, are you there? No. Yeah, Jyoti is here. Jyoti, can you hear us?
Yes. Hello, everyone. This is Jyoti, and I'm a student. Like, I'll soon be graduating
Sorry, Jyoti,
from.
we are not able to see you on camera. Do you want to be on camera? Is that?
Yes, I can be, but I'm little nervous. So,
Oh, come on. This is a friendly group. Like we are all. None of us are, villains here. Okay.
Jyoti, this is the time for
Very.
you to remove your nervousness. Go ahead, all in.
yeah. Thank you so much. Like, I'm a student from Northern College. I'll be completing my graduation this April, and what I can offer is like I'm a job hunter, so I can share my experience with new aspirants, like what the interviewers are expecting from all of us, like the students, and what I want from this group is like the networking plus the mentorship and the guidance, like how I can proceed further. Like I'm seeking for the entry level job here in Canada.
Very well, we all have been there. Like everyone of us has been there. Where like we are looking for the next opportunity or the first opportunity. So that's perfectly normal. And that's what the beauty of the group is, that with this so much experience and so much of diversity of presence, I think those opportunities hopefully more and more will be shared. I do have some thoughts which I'll come to later on. But regardless of the job search situation that you are in, as you mentioned, you still can offer a lot to the group by sharing your best practices and your tips and tricks with other people as well. And in long run, I think everything will be sorted out. I'm sure you'll be more and more valuable and productive for the group without a doubt in my mind. So thank you.
Plus, actually, I want to know, like, I'm looking for, like, I'm thinking of doing a certification, or
Okay.
like I should do a certification or something like bachelor's in supply chain management. Like, if you can tell me.
Sure. So I'll not go into that right away, but that's a very good question, and I do have some thoughts which I'll share very briefly at the towards the end in terms of what are the what are the areas where we want to have some more focused discussion. So certifications and credentials, there is one topic where we do see a lot of questions coming, and we do want to establish that as a sub group within this. Let me come back to you on that, Jyoti, on what we do on that front. Okay.
Oh, thank you so
Sandeep,
much.
thank you. Sandeep, can I just pinch in one
Sure. Yes. Yes. Go for it.
line,
Yes.
line
Yes.
idea? So, when my turn will come, I'll introduce myself, but it's especially for Jyoti or Ravi. So they are asking for, either entry-level job or some kind of the guidance. So all, esteemed guests here, if you feel you can help them, you can in the chat put your name that, you can reach out to me. So then and there directly. Again, I don't know the format. This is first time I'm joining, but maybe you can volunteer right away so that they can reach out to you for the help, right away. That's what just wanted to share.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
We
from
do that.
supply chain, otherwise I would have loved to help
Yeah.
them, but yeah, for other
Sure.
things. Thank you.
Sure. That's a good point. Yeah. I actually, you know what, this may be. Let me just share what I had in my mind. Actually, 1 second. Or I'll just keep the format this format right now. But I do have some ideas on that front. Okay. So next speaker's list is Captain Ken Bajaj. So before you introduce yourself, let me just give a quick couple of words from my side. We had the pleasure, myself and Coach Rakesh, who is my mentor as well. We had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Karan yesterday morning, and we had a very good time with him. A few hours spent. I must say that Karan, you are. And I'm also saying like you are so dynamic and full of energy and confidence. That it was very inspiring to meet you. But anyway, I would ask you to please introduce yourself a little bit formally to the group, and let the group benefit from your knowledge and your presence.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
You are.
I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Okay, more than my introduction, I'd probably send a shout out to Sandeep and certainly Rakeshji for organizing this. Reminisces me of what I used to do in Africa for a similar kind of a community about a few years back. But hi, everyone. I'll be quick with my intro and start by saying actually, I introduced myself to the mirror today. And in the reflection, I saw perfection, but the mirror actually disagreed. So with more twists and turns than my morning commute, I bring about 20 years of supply chain experience because dodging unexpected disruptions is my cardio, and I've mastered the art of logistics so well. Even my morning coffee arrives on time, no delays there. But pun unintended. That was on a lighter note. I'm current 20 plus years in the workforce industry, 6+ years in the army. That's what I started my career with. Telecom, banking, mining, automobile, e-commerce, FMCG. That's what I've been doing past 14 years. Done it in 4 different continents and over 8 countries now. I'm currently heading the P&L of one of the largest sites of Southwestern Ontario with Amazon, last mile delivery. And as part of my part-time gig, I'm also teaching in a local college subjects like global supply chain and business analytics, so on and so forth. Here to learn from all of you, and I can what I can offer is that I can connect with people. I feel very satisfied helping people find their passions they are seeking. I have a distinction to myself in Africa. I don't speak much about it because it is not worth it, but I have certainly helped quite a few people land up their dream jobs, and I certainly personally take a lot of pleasure in trying to help people. Why I'd be in this group is definitely if Amazon plans to kick me off someday. Doesn't seem like it is happening at the moment, but then if it does, then on a serious note, I'll probably be looking for opportunities to connect with you people and to see if some opportunity exists. But definitely here to collaborate and see if there's an opportunity we might have missed. I love to. In my future looking FLS is that I'd love to create a large-sized organization and help. Seek help from this group someday. Like I said, to most of my network. But let's see if that happens. But that's what the thought process is. Thank you again, Sandeep, for organizing this. I do appreciate this. Thank you.
And I just want to add one line, for Karan Bajaj, be careful mentioning your skills. So he did mention one skill yesterday at his place when we were there about to leave. And he said, I'm very good cook, So I said, what time you sleep? He said 10 o'clock. And that time I was 6 o'clock. So I said, can you cook chicken curry for us? He said, bang on. And we went out and we bought the chicken, and then he cooked the, chicken, and we had a nice meal. So, so that is he's a good, the cook, I would say, very good cook. So
thank you, Rakesh. I hope you relish it, because what was important was to infatuate you so much that you start investing in restaurant business and keep me as the head chef. Thank you.
Oh, that's really hilarious, amazing. Karan, you're full of humor and wit. I must say that. And thank you so much for offering the help with for people to on the career search, and maybe hopefully on business and entrepreneurship side as well. That's really the need of the hour. Like people should help out others, and what goes around it comes around as well. So that should be the spirit of any community. I had a last minute request to Karan, if you'll be able to be a speaker. It was very short notice, so I totally understand that. But for the next time, we would like you to be on the as a guest speaker for us, and you have so much to offer. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I have Fauzan. Do we have Fauzan?
Yeah, we do.
Hi.
Hi, hello everyone. Nice meeting you all, and pretty much very delighted to be a part of this community though. I have not a vast experience, but by listening to you guys, feel like I am actually on the right path. I have been in logistics or supply chain, you can say, for the last 5 years. I graduated, started my career at one of the biggest transportation company. With them right now, I have been in the procurement, logistics, mostly logistics part of the business. But we do work out in all sectors mostly. So far, I have learned a bit on procurement. I would learn to more. That would be one thing that I would want to learn more about from this group. Export, imports, as others said too. More to offer is I can actually offer some guidance to new people that are entering this field in this industry. When I actually joined, I had no idea what supply chain was, but coming into it, I got to know more about it, and it has been a great journey so far. Don't see myself anywhere else. I actually graduated with an accounting degree as well, but supply chain always gave me a kick. So be here to help everyone out and learn more from this group. Thank you. And thank you, Sandeep, for actually organizing this.
So that's a great expression. You are getting kick out of supply chain. That's beautiful. That augurs very well for your future in this industry. Like not everybody will say that, but you are one of the people who are actually quite excited about supply chain. That's I can hear that in your voice.
It's actually a part of our lives. Like everything is so connected. Like it feels like you even planning. Like you do planning on your own. You plan it for everyone else. You plan the supply chain. Basically, you're if you're in the food industry, you basically are making people eat. So point A to point B, manufacturing to the end, getting them what they actually want. So it's great.
That's a good thought actually. Again, and as in similar vein, we do procurement. We go to grocery. We go to shopping and stuff. We are buying stuff. We are doing some logistics.
Some logistics. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, perfect. Great. No, the good way to look at supply chain and logistics.
100%.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, hi, sorry.
Hi,
everyone. Myself, Hemant Mohta. 11 years in supply chain till date. 2 years in Toronto so far. I was based out of India previously, and I've been a supply chain consultant since 9 years now. For 2 years, I was in shop floor SCM operations for an oil and gas company. For the past 9 years, I've worked in different industries, including retail, CPG, pharma, agribusiness, dairy manufacturing, and auto parts retailer, so to speak. I have worked in different geographies, including Middle East, North America, and now in Canada. My functional expertise involve supply chain planning, specifically in the areas of demand forecasting and supply planning. And I have had a few exposure of projects in terms of greenfield warehouse design and process improvements, time motion studies in warehousing, specifically for CPG clients. And I've led process and tech-enabled transformation agenda for multinationals across the globe in different industries as well. So currently leading an engagement for one of the dairy manufacturers on integrated business planning. So on the process side, I've worked on these functional areas, and on the tech side, I love technology, implementing technology and bridging the gap between business and technology, specifically in supply chain. And I've worked in Blue Yonder, in SAP IBP, in cloud-based supply relationship management solutions. So I've played the role of process lead and design lead, and played the role of a business integrator. So as part of consulting, I'm currently with Ernst & Young as a manager in digital supply chain group for the past couple of years in Toronto. And prior to that, I was associated with EY in India for the last 3.5 years. So all in all, 6 years with EY and 3 years with some supply chain consulting startups. So as part of my offering to this group, since I'm pretty new in Canada, but what I can offer is structured problem solving and offering an approach to solve the problem, supply chain problems, both in downstream and upstream side of supply chains, since I've had a brief experience in these areas. So anyone within this group, both experienced, freshers, novices, or someone looking in terms of advice on process improvements or selecting a vendor for technology implementations, I can offer my advice based on my experience. And what I seek to learn from this vast group of supply chain practitioners is understand their point of view, the kind of problems they have solved for their different organizations and their clients, and how they have navigated through the different curves within their supply chain careers, whether it may be on a functional side, on the tech side. I'm happy to hear and learn from this group. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, Hemant, so that's a wealth of experience and knowledge. I must admit that. And I think one of the areas where you might want to help people is sometimes about the planning and inventory section. That side of the supply chain is not enough knowledge. I think a lot of the things that you mentioned about integrated demand planning and I think like you mentioned forecasting, etc. as well. That'll be very useful if you are able to probably have a session around that, maybe like a discussion session or some sort of
Definitely, we can.
Yeah,
We can have a interactive session between the interested participants. Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. Appreciate that. Very nice. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. I don't see Tharia here. No. Okay, we got Mandvi, and then we have Dhawal. Mandvi.
Hi. Hello, everybody. I am Manvi Gupta, and I have 20 plus years of experience in Germany, but there in India. And I have recently come to like 2 years of Jesus. So I consider myself a baby in this whole SCM community. So for what I can offer is that
Mandvi, if you can little improve, your voice is breaking. I don't know, it's only for me or everybody.
Yeah. The right mindset or having the approach. That is my voice breaking, or everybody can hear it?
It's breaking.
Now is better actually, but earlier it was being quite big. Can you try one more time, Manvi?
Oh, I think the connection was lost. Am
Uh,
I
Now it's good.
audible now?
we
Now it's
can
good.
hear
Now
you now.
it's good.
Yes, good. Yes.
It's regained, I think. Yeah. The moment I shift my place, I think it's regained. So
Yes.
yeah, I consider myself as a baby in this industry and to this community. So I'm really very open because I think it's a notion of in-depth knowledge of so many senior experts in this group and a fresh energy of youth. So the scope of learning is huge for me. And from my side, I can offer my creativity and an approach towards creating a right mindset towards growth and great like achieving greater heights in whatever area wherever you are. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much. Deepest gratitude to Sandeep ji and Rakesh ji for inviting me to this group. Thank you so much. Over to you, Sandeep ji.
Most welcome, Manvi. That was very short but very sweet. Thank you, and more of you in the coming sessions. Thank you, Manvi. Dhawal.
Hello everyone, and first of all, thank you Sandeep for organizing this event.
Yes.
So everyone, I come from a mechanical background. I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and then after completing my bachelor's, I was fortunate enough to join a hydraulic manufacturing company as a buyer in the supply chain group at the company where I supported the supply chain team in procuring materials uh, regionally and also from international market. Moreover, then I moved to Montreal where I did my master's in industrial engineering. I also emphasize continuous improvement as holidays, and I also have a couple of certificates, Six Sigma Green Belt, Yellow Belt, and I also emphasize continuous improvement. Moreover, during my master's, I did an internship at Pratt& and Whitney, Canada, in the aftermarket strategic supply chain team, where I provided support to organizational level strategic projects related to supply chain and contract management of the aftermarket repair business of the company. Also, I worked on couple of KPI development dashboard where I was able to achieve direct cost saving for the company, and where I leverage my data analysis skill which I learned during my masters. And I came to know that data analysis can be used in our day-to-day life to improve the ease of work that we do. Moreover, after doing my internship, I started my career as material logistics agent at Bombardier Aerospace in Montreal itself, where I was managing the material availability for global 6,000, 7,000, and 8,000 aircraft, where I was aligning material with the production schedule, making sure that quality was added to proper production schedules, and also ordering out of stock inventory and escalating critical part issues. After a few months as a meteorologist agent, I started working as a buyer for a food industry, US-based food industry. So over here, I'm currently scheduling purchasing bulk materials for our production here in Toronto. So summarizing this all, I believe that I'm living my dream life because as a kid, I used to watch a lot of Discovery Channel. I used to watch production of aircrafts, production of engines, food manufacturing production. So I have gained experience through all those production, and right now I'm working in food industry. So I believe that what I was watching as a kid, I'm doing the work right now. And what I can offer to the group is, despite being early in the career, so I have in the last 1 year, I have gone through a couple of job search strategies, how to connect with people on LinkedIn with the like-minded professionals. Whom should we connect? How should we approach them? What connections should be made with each other? And another thing is that I'm actively pursuing supply chain certificate CSCP certification from ACM. So I see that Jyoti was asking for any help on certifications. So I can be approached on my LinkedIn. I will provide my LinkedIn on chat so that we can connect and see what certificates are better for you based on where you want to go in your career. And what I seek from group is, as I'm eager to connect with fellow professionals in the procurement and supply chain, and I want to advance my career more on the sourcing side of the supply chain. So I seek I seek to exchange insights, best practices, and innovative strategies, and gaining perspective on emerging technologies. During my work experience, I worked on different ARP softwares, say SAP MM, Oracle JD. I also work on Zoho Books. So I have gained a lot more exposure to different ERP applications. So if anyone wants to explore on that side as well, I'm open to connect. And once again, thank you everyone for this amazing opportunity, and it's nice to meet you all.
Though I must say that the areas where you mentioned that you have your expertise and where you are willing to help, those are some of the most relevant areas. The ERP thing, the data analytics aspect. I think you mentioned about the Six Sigma, etc. as well, and the certifications. I think these are areas where if people work on those areas, they'll really shine in the interview, and they'll not have any difficulty in getting shortlisted. I think these are like exactly the areas which I would recommend anyone to work on in terms of better career prospects. Thank you, Dhaval, for offering help on that. Sure, then. And by the way, so we will. I'll show you a link where we have basically the group is on LinkedIn. So that link I'll share where you all can actually just go and join there. That way, everybody can see who else is there in that group. That makes you a much better way to understand people's background. On the WhatsApp, it's not possible that way. So I'll share that link as well very soon. Okay. Okay. So I think we are running a bit tight on time. So I'll just ask next couple of people to keep it a little bit brief if possible. And then we have to we will move very quickly, very soon to our speakers, Chris and Ankur. And I also want to introduce you to Coach Rakesh. So we have a few things we've done in the meeting. So we still have two introductions remaining, I believe. One is Kaustubh and another one is Yash. So Kaustubh and Yash, if you're able to just Kaustubh, first you can start with you, and you can briefly introduce yourself. Please be on camera. Kaustubh? Yeah, sorry. We can't hear you. I can't hear you at least. I don't know whether anybody else can hear Kaustubh, but I can't hear you. Can anyone hear him? No? Okay. Kaustubh, I think you have to check your audio. In the meantime, if I can go to Yash. Yash? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, Kaustubh, we can hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, hi. Good evening. I think I'm having some network issues,
Okay.
so my voice may not be clear. So good evening all. Hi, I'm Kaustubh Gune, and I have 12 years of experience in supply chain in industry, engineering industry. I've worked in multiple industries like aerospace, defense, heavy engineering. I was into wastewater management, and currently now I was also into automobile industry, and currently I'm working in electrical electronics. I have recently moved to Canada around 2 years back, so I have experience about this sector, about the North America as well. So what I'm looking for from this group is that from guidance from some senior members, as well as I'm open to connecting with the juniors so that I can provide valuable experience regarding a new immigrant. There are a lot of issues, so I can guide in resume building as well as in job search and help in searching opportunities. So as also looking for some company, and since I'm working on the C CPIM certification. So if there is anyone, so I'm glad to be a partner so that can work together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kaustubh. Thank you. Okay, Yash, I can't hear you. Are you there, Yash? Otherwise, we'll just close the introduction session and we move to the speakers. I hope you covered everyone in the intro round. Okay, so Now, I wanted to introduce the group to a couple of prominent speakers here. So I'd like to start with first Mr. Chris Rouse. Chris, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. How are you doing, Sandy?
Thank you, Chris. I know you had a very busy day today. You were at in downtown meeting so many different organizations and companies at PDAC Summit, which is a very large conference that takes place here in Toronto. And I appreciate that you took out time to come and join us. Friends, so Chris is, I've known him for past almost 8 years, 9 years, and he was one of my, let's say, teachers. He was a guest lecturer in the supply chain management program, which when I did that in 2015 or 14, around that period. And since then, like we connected instantly, and I have high regards for his expertise, as well as like a very calm and but very thoughtful approach that he brings to the table to solve any kind of issues. I have known Chris in multiple capacities for past many years, and I leaned on him when we thought about this supply chain community. I requested him if he would be like one of the mentors here, and he agreed with that kindly, which is appreciated. So Chris, I'll hand over the floor to you for just whatever you want to address the group about.
Sure.
And if you can also do me a favor about explaining about the event that this group is planning on 11th April, which is going to be a big event, a very promising event for people. So Chris, you can take that up as well.
Sure, yeah. I must thank you very much, Sandeep. That's a very nice introduction. And yes, I did have a very busy day at PDAC, as I mentioned to you before. It's the largest mining show in the world, and it's right here in Toronto. Typically, 25, 30,000 people attend. It's really quite something. I had quite a wonderful day. So I must say that I'm so intrigued by all the stories and the life histories that we've heard tonight. And it's so exciting to hear people like starting off in their careers or in the middle of their careers and looking forward to doing new and exciting things. And the depth of the experience is really quite something, particularly with people who worked on many different continents and countries. And oh my goodness, it's really quite something. Now, for those who don't know me, I've always been on the transportation side. So on the supply side of transportation, I started in that business back in the early 80s. And I was fortunate enough to be associated with some very good partners, and we built a very big company. Eventually sold it to a US public company, Eagle Global Logistics. I became the CEO of that company. And ultimately, I decided to go on my own, and I've been on my own for probably the last 20 years. I had my own forwarding and air charter company. I merged it with Manitoulin Global Forwarding in 2020 and have been consulting with them ever since. At the present time, I am working on setting up a very interesting new division within Manitoulin Global. It's to do with aviation services, where we're providing special services to the aviation industry, particularly aircraft on ground urgent parts deliveries, jet engine deliveries, and also onboard courier services. So that has been very exciting so far to build something new. And at my stage in the career, it's still fun to do something new. Having turned 65 last October, believe it or not. I don't feel it, but time catches up with you. Now, Sandeep mentioned that we are definitely going to have an event on Thursday, April 11th in Port Credit at the Legion Hall. And we're hoping to get every last member out. And I hear there's 200 members now. It would be great to have all 200. At least if we get half, it would be great. Now, we would like to get everyone together and talk about some interesting topics. And I think some of them would include procurement and on the transportation side. We've got some very interesting speakers that are potentially going to be addressing the group. I think it'll be very, very worthwhile, very high level, very experienced people. So I think it'll be a really wonderful opportunity to learn and to meet one another face to face. I think it would be very, very good for all of us to do that. Perhaps we'd even discuss some of the challenges that we're going to see in the macro world of supply chain, and particular, like, well, what's going to happen to our free trade agreements and how is that going to impact our work? The former NAFTA agreement, now the US MCA agreement, is under a lot of pressure now, regardless of what happens in the 2024 US elections, because the dispute resolution mechanism that's in place currently is under a lot of pressure from the United States. And even if the government doesn't change, these things are going to probably alter the way we do things in North America at the very least. And we could see that Canada could change its focus to looking to trade with more countries around the world. It could be an interesting time, but certainly it'll be a time of change. And hopefully we can discuss that a little bit on April 11th. I know that people come from all different backgrounds and aspects inside the supply chain, whether it's contract management or procurement, in a particular category, or transportation for that matter, and upstream and downstream. So we have a big group of people. We want to have something that satisfies everybody, that brings everybody together. So there's something there for everybody. We'll attempt to do that. It's going to be hard to touch every single area, but as a first event, I think we want to at least make it interesting and fun so that everybody walks away feeling that they learned something out of the exercise, that they've met somebody new, and incidentally, we'll be certainly making it interesting for you to attend. We'll have some very nice door prizes as well. And so I think it would be very worthwhile to attend. It'll be very close to the Port Credit GO train station, walking distance. So it's very easy to get to. I'm really looking forward to meeting everybody. So on that note, I'll turn it back to our moderator. And as I know time is precious at the moment, so Sandeep, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Chris. That was a great summary of your experience. I think plus also about the event. We are all very excited about the event, and you'll see some major names there from corporate sector as well, and hopefully like some great speakers. So please definitely block your date. More information will be coming on that very soon. But 11th April evening, please block your date and the venue will be Port Credit. The details will be sent out very soon. Thank you, Chris. Always appreciate your support. In interest of time, thank you. In interest of time, I will move very quickly to. I want to move to Ankur, but before that, Ankur, I'll just take a couple of minutes to introduce my coach and mentor here, Coach Rakesh. He has been a personal guide to me, and he's a life and business coach. Himself, has done multiple businesses and is a big investor. But I would say, and author and successful, speaker, motivational guru, a lot of things combined to one person. But most importantly, he's my CI person, continuous improvement person. So the reason he's here, he's not from supply chain industry, but he can always see as an outsider what we are doing on this platform, and probably he can guide and give us some tips on how we can make it more organized, more powerful, more productive, and more successful. So there's a reason that I invited him to join as well, so he can see one of the sessions live for himself. So Coach Rakesh, if you could say anything, couple of minutes just before, I know like you have a constraint, you have to leave as well, but say something before you go.
Wow, Sandeep, the way you introduced me, I feel like, wow, I have done something. I find myself kind of a misfit here, because the closest experience I have with the supply chain, that I'm managing supplies to my wife in the kitchen. That is the only experience I have, and I'm doing pretty well in that. So yeah. Okay, so I come from India, and I came to this country in 20th century. That is 1999. And this is the 21st century. It's been 25 years in this country. And I had a little, kind of a diverse experience. I get bored with one industry very fast. So I started my IT career, and I tried, the 3 segment in the IT career. I started my full-time job in IT, then went to the consulting, and then opened the placement agencies. So I tried all the 3 flavors, and then got bored, and then got little, good earnings, and invested into the real estate, then came to the real estate buying, and then investing, and then also lending my money. So tried that also. Currently, I'm in the finance industry, where basically I help the needy to how to increase their income, or how to invest their income, or how to protect their income, and basically how to grow. So that is the area. So basically, I'm kind of the wealth coach. I consider myself in these 3 different areas. That is my, I would say, in the nutshell. And what I would like to offer to this group is pretty much the mentorship in these areas. Whoever is available is my free services. Half an hour to 45 minutes. Come with any one concern in these areas. I'll be more than happy to help. And what I seek from this group, maybe the speaking opportunity to your association or your workplace, where I can come to make a difference in your employees, or the workforce, to have more engaged working environment, which will turn into a more, you can say, productivity that leads to the more profitability. So that is my little offering and share here. And as Sandeep asked, so I think you all are very well experienced. But yes, I think I love the kind of setting, the kind of I was just writing a little note to Dhawal, such a young a kind of the professional or young guy, and the kind of the exposure and experience and the confidence he has. So I think we can make a lot of difference moving forward, because future belongs to them. I'm like 50 plus now, so but still I would love to offer anything. My services can be utilized to this group, and rest I will give mic back to Sandeep. So Sandeep, thank you very much for providing this platform to see such incredible people here, and I will love to be part of it whenever it comes again, and of course your upcoming event. So thank you everyone.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. And guys, the 45-minute session that Coach Rakesh is offering, I can tell you with my personal experience that can actually be life changing. It can be a like very good turning point for a lot of us. So do take it up. That would be one piece of advice based on my own personal experience and journey. I can tell you. Okay, and I've seen a lot of people being transformed there. So thank you, Coach Rakesh, for offering that for us. It's highly valuable. We appreciate that.
And just Sandeep mentioned, I'm author, so I'm not selling the book, and this is in Amazon. But if somebody is interested, I can forward you the free PDF if you want to really read it. 6 pillars of life management system. So these are the 6 pillars: your health, wealth, family, social life, spirituality, and career or business. So I just kind of brief it a little, pillars, all these areas. So that's. But if anybody interested, I would love to even forward the PDF version. If you read, if you want to buy, you're free to buy. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll bring some of these the hard copy book, hard copies then on the 11th April event, and maybe people can just get those. It'll be a different pleasure in reading the hard copy. Thank you, thank you. So now we are here with our keynote speaker, and that's none other than Mr. Ankur Thakur. He has been patiently listening to the entire conversation and getting familiarized with the group. He has been part of our community only for like 2 weeks or less, actually. But in the first interaction itself, he really impressed us with his wit, humor. I was mentioning that in case of Captain Karan as well. I found the same attributes, Ankur, with you as well. And he has been in very senior positions in supply chain procurement. We had very good conversations, very good conversation around multiple topics in that area. Has a lot of global experience and exposure in multiple places, multiple countries. So I would hand over the forum to you, Ankur. Maybe introduce yourself a little bit more formally. I may have said something, but may have missed a ton more. So please do that for me. And also, if you had a topic in mind, and I would really love to hear from you.
Sure.
My pleasure.
On that. And please, if everybody can be on camera, like there's a keynote speaker, and we should, as courtesy, we should be on camera if possible, unless you're driving or something.
Can you hear me, guys? So perfect. Good evening, everyone. What a crowd. What are people like? Pretty impressed with everyone. Like I'm watching every one of you right now. And trust me, I believe that I'm a sponge and I can absorb everything, every experience from you. And one thing that I like about this group, first of all, thank you, Rakesh and Sandeep, bringing this group together. The energy is incredible. So a little bit of my background and why I believe that this is very important for the supply chain and procurement. Like all of us, we came from a different part of the world. I have been traveling across the globe. Early stage of my career, I lived in Mexico. So Chris, USMCA, NAFTA is very, very close to my heart. In a public forum, I made a statement, let's make North America great again. And people were throwing stone at me because they thought that I'm a political statement. It was not a political statement. It is a fact of the life that we need to bring manufacturing back to North America. We live here and we need to bring it. So I started my career very early stage in US and Mexico, worked with the manufacturing companies, EMS, electronic manufacturing service like Celesticas, but different Flextronics, Jabil, Benchmark. Eventually moved into business development and program management side of it. Didn't like the technical side of it. The reason being, I was giving the plant tours and someone else was taking customers for the food or lunch. I said, that's not fair. I'm doing all the work. Eventually moved into the OEM side of it. Foxconn, Smart Technologies, Motorola, the guy who scan your barcode when you go to the airport, the kits, whiteboards in all North American and UK schools, which the teachers can write with the fingers and weather network. And eventually, managing global procurement for a company in a poultry industry and team across the globe. Traveling 12 times to Asia is too much travel. And that's why I'm the first one to say, bring back business back to North America. Why I like procurement and supply chain? I think the supply chain and procurement is one of the most important department or in any organization. And people will debate with me about it, and they can whole day. But I will tell you why. A procurement, if a product costs you $100, procurement cost is $80. Now tell me who's important. Who is managing that negotiations for that procurement? If a foundation is wobbly, building will be wobbly. That's what I said. And procurement and supply chain people are better than salespeople. They are street smart people negotiating best out of the people who are in sales business. So who is better? Procurement and supply chain. I believe in the fact, and I have been fighting for this thing, that procurement should be at the seat at the table. We should not be under operations and finance and all the dramas of the organization. They should have a seat at the table at the CPO level, taking the big decisions. They are transformational department. They are not a transactional department. Purchasing should be procurement because it has to have strategic contracts in place. So all of you watching me, I know you are reading all those things, and that's the future, guys. Trust me, I'm old as well. My career is at sunset stage, as you can see in the back. But one thing I can tell you, the procurement and supply chain sunset, there's never a sunset. Their kingdom lasts all over the globe. And that's the reason I picked up this one. You can see a sunset, but sun will stay there. You're managing global procurement across the globe all the time. And that's what it is. So what I can give back to the thing and learn from you guys, I can learn a lot of things. And I'm going to set up one-to-one with, I met Mr. Rakesh yesterday. So much to learn. Mr. Sandeep, man, these guys, I was just listening to these guys for half an hour, just 45 minutes, and just try to absorb things. I'm going to connect with all of you if you don't mind, either through LinkedIn or one-to-one. I want to learn from you, all of you. And whatever I can give back to the community, count on me for this thing. This is the time to learn from each other. So that's my brief intro. And if you don't mind, I have a brief presentation, nothing earth-shattering, simple presentation that I gave to my team. And I would like to share with you. It's at this time of the day, I didn't want to make things complicated. I will speak fast and get it done. But I just want to show you what I feel about the procurement and what you guys have gone through. with the procurement, just as a reminder, and we can wrap up this movie fast.
Sure.
So if you don't mind, can I share my screen?
Yes, please go ahead, Uncle, please.
I have multiple screens open, so apologies for just a little bit of technical glitch here.
Right. Beauty of the virtual studying is that pretty much everybody would be probably at home. So a few minutes here and there will not like really make things complicated for their commute or travel. So should be good.
Yeah. Just give me a second. I'm just trying to. Okay. Apologies, just. I can share the screen, but I'm just not able to have multiple displays on here. So
you can actually just select the particular, I guess, window. That should do the trick. If you go to share screen option, that should give you two options. One is either share the screen or
no,
share
I know share screen is all good. That's it. Just two screens are happening at my stage as well here.
Okay. Yeah. If you just want to flip that by WhatsApp to me, I can present at my end as well.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Just.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is okay, but let me see if I can make it work. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Which screen are you are seeing?
Says welcome 4th March 2024, Ankur Thakur.
Okay. So can you see the big? Okay, that's perfect.
Yes, yes.
I'm just gonna move it down here. Okay. Okay. So guys, again, good evening and fellow team colleagues from Toastmasters. I know some of you guys live in Brampton area, and some of us live in Kitchener area, and some of us in this group work in Amazon. So when we see those Amazon factories, sometimes people believe, and sometimes people have asked us so many fascinating questions that, although it will generate a job, but will I get a product in 3 hours because the product is now in Cambridge or in Brampton and I'm living there? So that tells you the minds of the people. They don't understand a supply chain, and a lot of people just see the word supply chain. You guys might have seen it before as well, when people might have asked you what you do for living, and I was asked, I'm in procurement and supply chain, and people ask me what else you do. They didn't even know until COVID. I guess you guys have faced the same thing there as well. And the perfect example is that when we go to the restaurant and when we get our food, we thank waiter. But when the food is not there, we curse and come back without giving tip to or we curse the chef. And that chef is a supply chain guy. And that waiter is a sales guy who's getting credit sometime for no reason. I have nothing against salespeople, but the reality is the procurement people generally don't get the same credit that they deserve. Lot of people don't even realize how much work goes, but they still complain about 18 to 19 or 20 weeks of lead time for a car. And when they see the empty short slots in the retail market, but still they don't appreciate the the work you guys go through. So to start with this thing, I would like to take back you to the journey of supply chain. And in this case, it was a fun roller coaster ride for all of you, if you remember. And before that, I just tell you how thankless this job is. I'm not trying to demotivate anyone, but this is something we need to be persistently focus and tell people how important it is, because people are willing to, just take us for the granted. And this is something my mission is, bringing procurement on the top so that people understand the importance of it. So far, so good. Hello, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Because I cannot see you now with the camera, so I'm just a little bit blind here.
No,
So
yes.
to start with, I just want to remind you or remember what happened in this time zone. Anyone remember?
COVID.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So COVID happens. Then we saw people fighting in the malls for the toilet papers. The Costco people were worried about it. And lot of people were trying to hoard things and try to make supply chain more than it was supposed to be. As human memories are so small, what goes behind the scene, we were just trying to figure it out, and it was a perfect storm for all of us. I don't know how much of you know about the 11 feet rule that was applied on a retail market at that time, and everything was looking perfect. In Costco, an 11 feet rule means that you can only see up to 11 feet, and if you see up, everything was empty. So that mask retail markets and other people put in front of us to show us that everything was perfect was not. And those things were background where all of you were facing those challenges. So what was happening at that time? We all were sitting on a hot chair with very angry customers. When people were, and that's more important, that when people were scared of their life, all of us were trying to have supply continuity by having sleepless nights, so that companies can make money and they can make salaries for the people at that time. So people don't remember these things, how important that job was for us. People told me that I don't care, it's pandemic. I need my product from Asia right now. Some people told me pandemic is just a media creation. Some people told me bring the product faster. And I told them I cannot. It's in the ocean and I cannot be a Godzilla picking up a container and bring it to you. It was impossible. But the mentality and the attitude of people at that time was incredible. And we were fighting that war by sitting on a hot seat. So what was happening? And again, I don't want to bore you. You guys know that, but I just want to tell you what was happening at the same time, because you guys should be proud of what you did. And you guys should go back to your leadership and tell them, remind them when there's a promotions happening, that you are number one in that list. So what happened? We were having a COVID. At that time, travel restrictions were there. So your suppliers, your people, your contacts were completely out of the loop. You had virtual contacts with the people. Trade war started. If you remember, 2020 was an election year. Chris just mentioned about the election year for this year as well. 2020, when COVID was happening, tariffs were put on China. And the trade war started at the same time, making things more complicated for manufacturing industries and the products. And then you guys remember the product cost went up. I remember the time when COVID hit, there were no people in the factories. In China, Taiwan, Malaysia, there was no one, absolutely, because people were in COVID and 25% of the workforce was working. And still, procurement and supply chain was trying to bring the products for the companies to sustain. There was significant shortage of raw material. If people were there, there was no material available at that time. A lot of material shortages were happening, which drove the price and commodity to higher. Then the force majeure happens. Now, procurement team might know this, some of you might not. Force majeure is an act of God. When a companies can put force majeure, then any legal binding contracts cannot be respected, because they can just act and we cannot. It's uncontrollable situations for us. And those were happening at the same time. And your teams and my teams were still managing all those things. Longer lead times. Like we heard about cars going to longer lead times, TVs, anything electronics was going on a longer lead times. We were not getting the products. Shortage of vessels. I remember the time I had product ready and there were no vessels coming from China. There was complete, everything was ready. The people were coming back to the work. Everything was perfect. Now there was no ship. But when ship arrived, there was a strike in Vancouver. When strike finished, there was a wildlife fire happening in Alberta. Yeah. We still had to manage our contracts and commitment with the suppliers. There was a butterfly effect or domino effect. Something happened in one part of the world, we were still facing on other parts. We were fighting liabilities, millions of liabilities. I guess you guys were fighting and trying to manage those things. On top of that, we were trying to work on the cost reduction for our companies by inventory allocations, resource optimization, SKU rationalizations, procurement cost. Your teams were working on that. And on top of that, we still were maintaining a continuity of supply. How incredible it is. Have you visualized so many things you have done and your leadership teams have given you reward for that, or even have acknowledged you for that, that guys, this is something beyond a human expectations. People gone through pandemic once in a lifetime, and a supply chain person has gone at the same time when he or she had to take care of her family, going through all these things so that other people can get salaries and living. How big it is. And still we had angry customers on top of that. And on top of that, Mr. Murphy from Murphy Law was working with us. You remember this? Who remember this?
Oh, I remember this.
Yes. And again, out of the blue, everything was perfect, and a canal and a ship, Evergreen, got stuck for 20 days. And here we comes again. Here comes the supply chain challenge again. But regardless of whatever happened, guys, I think you will appreciate that one thing we never had a shortage was the food. When we were going to retail markets, when we were going to Superstore, Walmart, there was food available. So regardless of whatever happening, there were other people in the food industry who were working very hard to give us the food. So regardless of whatever happened, despite of whatever thankless job and ungratefulness I have faced, I have learned my lesson. Whenever I go to these places like a Superstore, Costco's, I go and shake hand of these people. Sometimes they raise eyebrows and say, what the heck you want? But I know these guys were doing the wonders for us to feed us and our families. So big thank you. I try to give it to them, because regardless of all these materialistic things, food was something that was important for the whole humankind, and we were getting that at that time. I didn't hear any major shortages happening at the COVID, except all the commodities. And in the last, you all should be proud of what you achieved in last few years. Trust me, any MBA, any case studies won't give you that experience. This has make you street smart and have taken your careers 10 years down the road, because 10 years down the road, when you are in different positions and something smaller comes, everything will become very small for you. And that's why I call procurement team, my procurement team, procurement warriors. And I think it fits with all of you as well. So from me to every one of you, job well done, and keep the momentum going. Like I said, this is one of the best department and one of the best career growth people can see and will see in future. Thank you.
Wow. That was very powerful, Ankur. Honestly, I had never looked back and realized, so many challenges that you talked about that did occur in our job, and we did not really pause to reflect on that. Nobody sought to praise us, for the work. Um, one good thing is happening is that in our team where I work, the people who are handling the COVID PPE. During that time, the business people, they are nominated for the Best Employee of the Year award, which is it's a great acknowledgement. But in general, the appreciation level of the complexities that the procurement supply chain faces on a day in day out basis, and especially all these complex situations. That is not understood, and very powerful. This should be a story that we should be proudly sharing with our colleagues, and especially the people who are coming into this area new. They should be really proud to be part of this profession. Very powerful and
Thank you.
touching. And
Thank you. And you guys can take the, I can share this slide deck. Obviously you cannot use, because I had to put some notes because I used it at my workplace as well. But feel free, guys. This is something, a reminder at the performance reviews. Put it in front of your management team and leadership team, because people have this short-term memory.
Yes.
And they don't remember it. And all these things which Chris mentioned, Holly was mentioning, and all of you were mentioning, like this year is a make or break for us. Election years. 3 elections are happening across the globe. 3. And we only worried about 1. We are worried about US elections. Next year, Canadian elections. The 2 elections which will change the dynamic is Mexico and India. Because India, with semiconductor industry, is tilting from China to India right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a major election for us, for people in India right now. Mexico, because electronic industries and all the big commodities and manufacturing and USMCAs, like Chris says, well said, 3 amigos have to stick together there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's important, because if you will need those balancing act. So one of the thing I do also, my specialization is also setting up manufacturing locations in Mexico and Malaysia and all those things. So I try to go there and try to audit the suppliers and all those type of things. So something I'm passionate about. I came as an accident in supply chain as well. Didn't ask for it, didn't thought that I will be doing this thing, but it happened. But it was a wonderful accident, and I'm telling you, all of you here, when you will see your peers still sticking to the jobs they were in early years, and you have moved on in 10 years, you will feel proud of yourself.
No said, Ankur, said. Thanks so much, Ankur. Chris, any comments that you want to make, or maybe thanks so much to Ankur as the keynote speaker? You're welcome to come back. Chris.
Sure, thank you very much. That was a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
And I believe actually there's many more than 3 elections coming up in 24. There's quite a number around the world. It is going to be a pivotal point, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And it will affect trade significantly. I think you're quite right about that. And we should be well prepared mentally for this to happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Watch the stock market, how it will react if US market, you're right, US, Mexico, India, and 1 in Europe, and China-Taiwan war right now, which is always looming. These 5 factors, and there are 2 more wars happening on top of that.
On top.
Yeah.
A challenging time.
Yes, absolutely. So perfect storm.
Thank you.
So supply chain people, we have to understand geopolitics as well. We have to become expert on that area as well, the elections and stuff. Very interesting. I know, like, we have passed out our time. Just wanted to take 1 minute to quickly remind you that please do join AugMentors Career Leaders Club. This is LinkedIn, the URL. I put that in the chat as well. I'll put that in the WhatsApp group too. So this will allow you to always go and review other people who are associated with the group, and you can know them more closely. We are planning to provide include the professional profile summary on a shared location, something. The people who are comfortable with that idea, they're welcome to join that initiative. There are like constantly new people joining, and they will not have seen you, they will not have met you. But if there's something like a shared location where we have this information, they can always go and access. They can look for like industry or like company and stuff, right? So we wanted to launch that as well. Needless to say, we have been sharing jobs and business opportunities in the group, but if you can do that even more and be conscious about that, if you have any opportunities coming in organization, just put the link for that. We are not asking for you to make special, like reference stuff, because that can become a little bit tricky area. Whatever you're comfortable with, do share the opportunities with the rest of the fellows here. That includes freelance opportunities as well. And study group for SCM certifications. Very briefly, there are people who are talking about CPIM, CSCP, SCMP, etc. So we'll have a dedicated session on different kinds of certifications and credentials and the relative benefit and cost, etc. for those. So we'll plan a session on that, especially in the coming days. And similarly, like we want to have speakers on different skills, be it data analysis, be it ERP, be it forecasting or demand planning. We want to have more sessions. So we'd love to have speakers like yourselves come forward and tell us, this area I'm comfortable with. I can speak for 15 minutes or half an hour. I can come up with a presentation on that. So we'd really appreciate that. And personality development sessions are also something that we want to have. Like sometimes we're not able to effectively communicate in the interview process and really showcase our competencies. So that is one area we want to work also. All of these things are possible if we have more volunteers, if we have more people who want to give to the forum. Today it was very, very promising to see a lot of people are having the same thought in their mind. They want to share with the community, their experience and the value. So if you are if you are keen on these kind of value added things that we can do in the team, please do come forward. And as a group, as a team, we can do much more than what we are doing right now. So that is I just wanted to I want to leave that thought with you as we conclude the session. We'll be planning the next session very soon as well. You'll see the announcement for that. And thank you again for sticking till the end, despite of this being a Monday evening. I know like you guys are very busy preparing for tomorrow morning as well for work. So thank you very, very much, all of you. Really appreciate it. I hope it was useful.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank
Signing
you.
off. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a pleasant
Bye. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.